soul searching. I've thought a lot about what it means to have friends and what it means to be in love and what it means to care about my family and trying to figure out how I feel about life in general, because I've had my ups and I've had my down moments for real. This past year into this one, I miss my mother. There are no words that can really express how much I miss her, and I really have not been the same since that happened, and it's been rather different for me because I've been trying my best to keep myself strong and hold it together, not just for myself but for my family, and mainly my immediate family, because if you've been following me, you probably noticed that I really do not show my family on here like that, and I really don't get super personal, I guess, with talking about other people and things like that, and I've been contemplating about that a lot lately. Sometimes I find it hard to connect with other people and actually make long-lasting friends. And I've started to realize that it's not so much that I want a lot of friends, it's just that I would like to have friends that are honest with me and are actually real, versus these people that will be fake and talk about you behind your back and stab you in your back, amongst other things. Like, sometimes I just notice that it is better just to stay to myself than it is to open up to someone who could just be wanting to know more about me so they can try to manipulate me, use me, or other malicious things that some people like to do nowadays. And I guess that's something that's perpetual. It's something that has been ongoing since, I guess, the inception of mankind, however you want to say that. It really is a nice day today. And as much as I like spending time by myself, this is one of those few times that I really wish I wasn't. But I've come to this, I guess, understanding that even though I don't always get what I want in life, I can still smile and make the most out of whatever situation I'm in. And I know that might not be the brightest picture that I'm painting, but sometimes I just take moments out and acknowledge that if something isn't going the way that I want it to, perhaps there's a good reason why it's not, and it might be because it's not the way that I need it to be. Just because I want something doesn't mean that it's what I need. And I am really coming to terms with that, simply because I've had my share of straight up disappointments. And I realized that part of the reason why I get disappointed at all is because I have these expectations at times of people that I just need to let go of, because it's just the reality for me in my life that I could give out so much positivity to someone and not receive the same type of treatment back. And it's not that I'm doing all the things that I do because I expect something from someone. It's just this whole concept of, if I give you respect, could you at least have the common courtesy of giving me respect back? Yeah, that sounds a bit like too much like, right? The same way with somehow thinking that someone else would have common sense. I just need to let that go too. And then there's that whole other concept in which sometimes people, they will mistake you being polite or kind or having manners as flirtation. And it opens the floodgates to them treating you in a way that you don't want anything to do with. Yeah. Fun times. So, while I'm out here, I noticed that as peaceful as it is and as quiet as it is, there's always something going on that if you pay attention close enough, you'll see it. Whether it's random different bugs that come out at different times of the year, or the way that the trees are right now, the way the grass is, whether there's a gentle breeze or not, the way that the squirrels like to go around, how bright the sun can be. Sometimes it is actually good that things end up being the way that they are, simply because I guess at the end of the day, regardless of whatever it is I might have planned to do, things could always go some other way. Which brings me to this, I guess, a little bit of a silly question. If by the end of the day you've made all these different choices and all these things end up happening, would it mean that regardless of your choices that there would be such a thing as fate? Would that mean that regardless of what you chose, things would end up the way that they were by the end of the day anyway? I spend a lot of my time thinking about things like that. My shadow looks rather interesting. And there's the little details of life. Like, I wonder who wrote that? Who scratched that into there? Who wrote all this scribble? What's up with the random dog that is running around loose without anybody watching it? It's not something I see all the time. There's so many things that I don't really know much about. And yet and still, wow, that was a spider web on my shoulder. Oh, that's another random thing. If you all were curious about that, I'm not actually scared of bugs at all. Oh, that's interesting. The breeze is carrying away leaves. There's so many interesting sounds and just little moments that I wonder just how significant they actually are. Like, if I went outside right now, would that change something occurring in my day that was important or inevitable? I don't know. Yeah, I am kind of just rambling and out thoughts right now, and I realize that it's actually good for me because I tend to overthink and I keep a lot of things to myself, and I know I'm not the only person who does that, and so maybe someone out there can relate to this and share their thoughts on this, and I might learn something different, or I might end up finding someone who's a kindred spirit who has these same type of thoughts. And there's that random dog running around again. Not sure what's up with that. If he's somebody's pet, I hope they find him, because I haven't seen any signs up for that particular dog. I have noticed that it's just been wandering around freely with no one around. It looks like they're looking for him, or that is missing. Makes me wonder why it is sometimes people will make promises, or they will try to take up something that's a commitment, such as getting a pet, or starting a relationship, or telling someone that they're going to do something, and then they don't fulfill it, and then they wonder why, for some reason, there's this sense of, I guess, failure, or a lack of trust, or disbelief that arises when a certain number of commitments or promises don't exactly come to fruition. And I know I probably have this really weird accent. Fruition. Yeah, I kind of got a weird accent, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. You can tell me if I do or not. But, I've just been thinking so many different random things, and because of the fact that I don't have a ton of friends that I guess are into actually hearing my thoughts, that I actually can talk to in person. Or, let me correct that. I have a tendency, due to my introversion, of avoiding hanging out with people in person because a lot of times I worry that my kind nature will be mistaken for something that it's not. And I really don't like that awkward situation happening.